it is gonna be some crazy latency, so I don't know if I can complete my Impale 147. But last time I did this was 2383 on a one floor Desolate Sands non-Oryx back in 29th March. So it's been a long time, and I've only periodically played, so I only gotten under, way under 300 paragons apart from this 146 attempt. Uh, I'm gonna try fire still because I'm just a little bit more confident with fire. Um, but unfortunately, the amulet is really bad. I did get a different kind of guardian bracers that I'm gonna try with as well. But otherwise, I'm gonna try a few times again of the fire impale today. It's only gonna be like a few more attempts. Hey, Martian. Yeah, so I'm gonna test out whether I can actually do this while streaming because the latency is like 250 something, and I should have put that in the title actually as well. I mean, you see, if I leave this mouse over for a while, it's 240. I think the other day the lowest was just under 200. So I am gonna put on the stream 240 plus ms. Yeah, I just forgot to put that in the title. But the latency, you see, it's even worse. Like that one time that was under 200 was no streaming too. And I'm already connected to Twitch Asia instead. 250 something is okay. 246 is good. Last time the lowest was 189, I think, in town. So the problem is I can't play cold in reaction to the amount of density I need to play. I've already tried that a few times with 200 something latency. And on God DH, it's still okay at this kind of latency. But the 139 needs a bit more paragons for God DH compared to Impale, obviously. So anyway, I'm gonna still continue fire. I did change the bracers to have physical resist, and I chose to have life per hit instead because I need additional on top of. And in fact, this setup isn't using the potion. Uh, there. Uh, I should probably just start saving it, even though I don't normally use it. I should just start saving it into my fire. Setup. But anyway, I am gonna try more 147s. This will be the 17th try. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's not much to melt, honestly. Um, I only have a few sanctified items, and I've used most of this. Like, this is the remaining angelic crucibles. I actually I think just a week ago, I already went to get like random legendaries and spent like 120 angelic crucibles to get as much resources as I can from them, and keys obviously, right, at random RNG. But this is like the last four, so it's not a big deal anymore, really. And most of my gear is like, I mean, they're like good to the point that I have to compare with the non-season stuff and how much integrity I want to keep, right? I've mentioned that before. So anyway, I'm gonna try a few 147s and see like whether it's a good feeling or not, because while streaming it's even worse. Uh, this is Thralls. I don't even know if I actually activated a potion because I pressed as soon as I did, I think. And I can't fight that yellow elite, obviously. Which I have to skip now. And I know that I should be getting a better map or something like that, but this is just a warm-up test anyway. Wow. Look at the incoming damage. It's insane, isn't it? I mean, I don't like this yellow elite being here. That's the problem. And I mean, this is not ideal. I mean, I like the face beast and everything, the warping horrors, but it's not ideal enough. This yellow elite is following me too much, basically. And I got the multi-donut play tunnels, but the yellow elite is following me too much. And I'm not getting enough face beasts. Well, now that I say that, I get a lot more, but I'm getting body blocked by like all the other guys. So my time is already busted. Wow. Yeah, I forgot about the grotesques in my whole density. So this is at 253 ms. I just spent a little time mousing over since I can. Okay, 8%. There is a chance of a pylon, but what am I going to do with that? Okay, there is a blue here. There is a chance of a pylon, early pylon, but I don't know if I'm going to get it, so I'm going to try a few more percent. Maybe 9%, but I've only gotten a few times 9%. So yeah, it is hard. But let's try it. Let's try it. Do I get a bonus? No, I don't. Okay, so I didn't get the early pylon, which basically means this is basically over. Because I decided that I wanted to try 10% instead of 12%. So the bigger issue is that there's not enough warping horrors for me. It's actually okay for fire to fight this monster type. It's just that you need more warping horrors than the Lacuni guys. And then I don't have enough smaller monsters to give me Oculus Rings consistently. Obviously. But like, I don't mind this percentage. It's just that I don't have enough Oculus Rings consistently. Because for fire, you need to kill things fast. And the only way to consistently kill things fast is that if you get exactly Oculus Rings every single time. Like, for like any of your damage. Because I have the damage, it's just that you need the consistency. See, the Oculus Rings give me my percent. Without it, it's just, like, you lose the time. So anyway, this is just a test. Okay. Another yellow elite. Yeah, I mean, earlier the blue I can probably play it, but I didn't get any help that I wanted. So this is likely busted anyways, but I kind of want to know what my first pylon is. Probably on the second floor, actually. I mean, I'm just expecting it to be the second floor. Wow, my latency is down to yellow. That's crazy. That's how bad I can't push on the vacation for Impale. Like yellow, this is 300. 300. I can't do 300. That's why I procced already. I didn't even realize I procced until I saw my latency, by the way. Because I was reading chat. Yeah, 300 is not likely for Impale. Oops, I keep hitting my 3 button. Okay, 25. Do I have a elite pack around here? Okay, I do. What is my bonus? Speed. Rip. Okay, next. Easy. I just needed to see what the first pylon is, minimally speaking. So if it's a bad one, if it's like speed, obviously I can't play anything because I'm already behind time by like 2 minutes, right? So next. Ooh. Okay. Now, fire is actually really bad to play Oryx because you get overwhelmed very easily. But we'll see if it works. I need to plan it correctly in order to play Fire Oryx, by the way. Because my 146 was not an Oryx. Funny enough. So, but you can tell that Oryx is usually very helpful. You just have to know exactly how to handle it. And I mean, I'm still not fully, like, all-knowing about the fire, but I can tell that this is, like, reasonable. It's just that now am I gonna get tempted to stay on this floor? I mean, I've done this floor on my 146. My 146 was actually one floor clear of this floor, this map. One floor. With the best pylon order, obviously. Without fishing. So this is the 18th try. So earlier was the 17th. I got a 4% channeling. That's bad. Because I'm not using Captain Crimson either. And I didn't really want the pylon this early. But knowing that it's a channeling though, that means I can likely skip this floor. Because I'm just not gonna get enough value. So I'm just gonna start working to the left actually. Even though I just pulled a blue. Because I thought to myself, I can technically play a blue if I see a blue. But not more than that. So now the question is, should I invest any more time beyond this blue? Meaning, I better not overpull another elite pack, because chances are I won't be able to handle the affix. Because this is already losing time, by the way. Because once they summon too many, and if I cannot use all the Oculus rings, it's just busted. Because the fire chains is eating up my positioning. I mean, I have to get close because of the Oculus rings are there, and then they summon too many maggots. It's bad for fire, right? The whole point is to aim at the main broodmothers. So there's good and bad. The good news is that those little guys give the Oculus Rings enough. The bad news is my Oculus Rings is always poorly positioned because the maggots are so close. So it's not fully benefiting me. And this, obviously, this pylon isn't helping. So I didn't want to go too far because I didn't want any more pressure. Even though I could have used more Oculus Rings, potentially speaking. So my issue is that the next floor has to be perfect, or else it's basically done. Because Oryx has too much overwhelming conditions. It's not the same as cold. Cold Oryx is perfect for the most part. Because the idea that you want is density, which cold loves. I mean, aside from like 1 or 2 monster types, even density isn't as helpful because you're losing time over the value of how many you're getting. So you have to kill so many just to get 1%. But Oryx are like different, obviously, right? The pool is different. But in general, for cold, sometimes you just have to skip one of the Oryx floors because you're losing time, regardless of whether it's like good enough. You're just spending too much time per monster, or that per monster is not giving you enough. So anyway, my 4% pylon is gonna kind of throw me off a bit on my next pylon. This is the second key of the night, so it is a decent, like, Oryx condition, but I don't really necessarily want Oryx. I actually want, again, the Ice Porcupines as my start, or as my second floor minimum. For non-Oryx anyways. Especially non-Oryx. So this is like, I'm starting to like rely on only 2 pylons remaining. Either here or the second floor, basically. So like, the bad news is I actually don't, well, I actually didn't want to see that, but I knew that the 4% would throw me off. So the last thing to do is to see, oh, it's double. Oh, if it's double, I have to grab it now. If it's double Desolate Sands, I have to grab it now because it's just bad positioning. Okay, so let's go. It's a double Desolate Sands, so this shield is likely very bad. Because I need elites now. I need elites now. Okay, there's one. The bad news is this elite is like super scattered. So it's actually bad. I mean, they have low HP, but it's actually bad. Because they're not closing in on me. They're like going the furthest outward, splitting apart. And you don't actually want anything that splits apart. So this is actually a really bad blue. I mean, it's clear of where they are because they split out, but it's bad because my Oculus rings are not gonna be able to aim at them. See? I needed another elite there while that is happening. While that was happening. Okay, I got power. I have to use it. I mean, I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it. I don't know if I'm gonna buy enough time though. Okay, shield is all basically done, so I have to make this elite count. Wow, I almost ate that charge. Okay, I got this yellow elite, at least. Okay, I broke even with the power pylon and the remainder shield, so that's good. The only problem is now I need to make sure I stay break even without pylon. Because the break even was with pylons. Okay, it is a conduit, but I don't have anything with me. Okay, one. I don't know if I have enough for the conduit. Do I have to pray for the next floor? Okay, there's two. There's two, so there's three basically. Ah, crap. I might need to die on this one. Just to make sure I play the conduit properly. I'll probably have to die. Let's die. Okay, let's die. Because I need to not be procced for this conduit. I mean, if I get procced... Stupid latency, man. Can't work with that. This latency is so rough to play. I have to like react sooner. Okay. Okay, this is too much. This is... but I'll just try and play it. I didn't want to, but I guess I can use this ramp. The latency though, 260. I don't think I'm gonna need the pylon, but we will see. Yeah, no pylon. It's okay. I can try to kill the Rift Guardian. Fire has enough. Well, not if I get wrecked like this. Nope. Yeah. I think I need to reposition. Yeah, I just didn't have enough time, I think. That's close. I don't have enough time for this guy. Because the later part, like right now it's fast, but later is even slower. So it's very close, very close. Because I have to pull him like 5 times away from his minions. So the only other pylon, well, I've already used all 3 best pylons anyway. Speed would have helped a little on the impale, the in-between impales, but I'm still short by like a minute. Well, even after speed, that is. But I've already gotten all 4 pylons. Right? Well, channeling, shield, power, conduit, yep. So I'm like a minute short. At least a minute. And the latency didn't help. Basically. I mean, 250 plus trying to play that conduit. I got procced again on the conduit. So I had to play proactive dodging in case the latency killed me with the rubber band. So I couldn't play aggressive with the conduit. So I lost like 20 seconds. At least 20 seconds. See, I need a minute. I lost 20 seconds on the conduit because of latency. I'm playing at 250 plus, right? In the beginning, the channeling pylon wasn't helpful at 4%. And then I spent a little too long killing killing the skeleton blues with the shield because they were split apart. So basically, the mistake was staying for the skeletal archers actually with the shield. Now, would it have changed one of my positioning on pylons, on my future pylons? Yes. But I spent 15 seconds too long for the skeletal archer pack. At least 15 seconds too long of the shield. Which means I lost 20 seconds on the conduit because I had to die 1 time in case I die again in the conduit, wasting the conduit even more because you don't want to die while having a conduit. And then obviously I was playing passively because I actually got proc during the latency issue. And so I had to play defensively on the conduit. So I lost 20 seconds there. So that's 15:22. I lost another 15 seconds minimally on the skeletal archers that were running away. And I had some yellow ping as well while I was playing. And now I'm even in town and it's jumped all the way to 300 plus. So anyway, that would be 15:22 minus another 15 seconds That's 1507. And then just now at the last part, right? I was indecisive. I was indecisive between the second Desolate Sands and the third floor Stinging Winds, where I saw the Stinging Winds had so much density on the way down the staircase, right? And so I was indecisive there. So I lost 5 seconds there, minimally, just being indecisive, right? So that's 1507 minus 5, which is 1502. And then the biggest issue for Escandil is that the ads, while they do give you Oculus rings, you have to position yourself every single time to dodge his stuff, and depending on how much you need to focus fire on the Rift Guardian, 3 seconds is basically anything, any movement of a Rift Guardian, whether it's the Rift Guardian itself or you, in terms of any reposition, any movement that gets away from the range of your skill, damage skill. Hey, Relif. So I got a second key Orek stream just now, which was my 18th try total, and I'm calculating what happened with this 1542. So the conduit, I lost 20 seconds because I died one time before it. I got procced before it, so I had to die before I used the conduit. I lost like at least 15 seconds more because of the latency that I'm mousing over during the vacation time, which is 250 plus, sometimes hitting over 300 during Impale. And I can't play cold with this latency, obviously, because the more density, the crazier it gets. Especially during the conduit, I had to play defensive with the conduit because I was procced even after I purposely died to unproc myself. So I actually lost total 20, at least 20 seconds for the conduit, playing passively and dying 1.5 times. And then I had a shield pylon that was good, but it was bad because I had a skeletal archer, a 5-pack skeletal archer that split away, moving far and far away while I was trying to use as many Oculus rings to get the skeletal archers anyway. So that was my big mistake. At least the bigger mistake was using the shield to kill individual skeletal archer blues. But I didn't want to run away looking for another elite pack because that would also eat up time anyway. So it was either stay and lose 15 seconds or go and lose like 10 seconds finding stuff anyway because it was a Desolate Sands, a second floor. So anyway, so so 1542 minus 20 on the conduit play is 1522. Minus 15 seconds from 22 is 1507. And then just now, right at the end there, I was indecisive, right? I was indecisive between the second floor and the third floor because there were just too much density on the Stinging Winds. It was like unholy. It was like the ghostly trio again. So the staircase was helpful because if I went over, like if I went down the staircase completely, I would have been overwhelmed even worse because I'm not cold, impale. So anyway, 1507 minus 5 because I went backwards to Desolate Sands on the second floor to think that I should go probably kill some stuff. But then I was like, well, if I run around Desolate Sands being so scarce anyway, I would lose time. So I was like, you know what? If I can kill enough of the Ghostly Trio on the ramp, I can get as many Oculus Rings while on the ramp, on the staircase, and it will be fine. So anyway, I counted it as 5 seconds of indecisiveness. So 1507 minus 5 seconds is 1502. And so 3 seconds would be the last part to decide based on the Rift Guardian. Because any moving Rift Guardian would lose you 3 seconds anyway, anywhere of it. Um, with them teleporting outside of the range of your skill and so on. So that Orek stream was okay for fire, but um, the first channeling pylon threw me off a little bit at 4% because I didn't need the pylon, even though it did help me RNG the best 3 pylons later. It actually made the shield pylon appear a little too early at 31%, even though I thought about it that I shouldn't get more percent. But after 4% though, basically 25% onwards of progress, you would likely spawn your next pylon, and I did get one at 31 instead of 32 or even 33, 34 because of the early 4% pylon. So I was like, well, 31 I should be fine, but if it did spawn me, I really hope it wasn't something useful. Shield was like the third best anyway, so it wasn't that bad, but the problem was I needed easy, like, compact blues or even yellows, or because it's singular, depending on what it is, that as long as it doesn't move too much, I will be fine. But the worst RNG was that I got skeletal archer blues, so it cost me at least 15 seconds. Well, 10 at least if it was something else anyway. So it was just rough. I got really close, I would say. I mean, 1542 is pretty close at this Paragon anyway um for non-cold. So sad. Alright, 19th try. Chickens. I shouldn't have pressed the potion yet. I didn't get hurt yet. I'm always used to playing my armor potion. Is there enough chickens? Because fire is... Really? A 1% conduit. Huh. Well, I need 5 elite packs. I don't know if I'm gonna get 5 elite packs right now. One. I need to know the pathing. So I'm gonna play the whole map. Well, the whole floor. Because the conduit is fine. Wow. Really? I procced on that. So this is the square. Well. Yeah. So there isn't much. So I'll just clear out here. Since I'm already here. Wow, I wasn't expecting a 1% conduit. That's quite rare. Okay. Wow. Ouch. Okay. I moved the blue again, so that's not good. I have to bring the blue back this way. Wow. I wasn't even looking at the charger on that one. Okay, that one I didn't, because I was trying to move the blue. So I admit I didn't see that charge. I saw the other one early, the one before that one. Wow, my latency is so crazy with this density. Okay, is there something else here? No, that's it. Okay, so after this conduit, which I don't think I can use it for the next floor anyways. Really? Well, that's gonna be a fail on this conduit then. Because I procced. Okay, I gotta like go fast and hope for a next kill. I mean, there's not enough elites here. Yeah, this conduit is not enough. Again. Yep, it's too far. This conduit is not enough.
I'm still waiting.
It's not enough. I mean, it was good that it was double elite here, but it's too far. Yeah, and conduit being the best, I don't think I can play this, so I'm just gonna leave this one actually. I'm gonna leave that one because I cannot have a conduit that is only 2 elite packs. Like I tried. I mean, I was close on the time. I was like 40 seconds behind before I used the conduit. But the problem was that the latency was getting crazy, that I got procced during the conduit play. And so I had to make sure that I wasn't dying. So that was my 19th key, 20th key. Okay. This is bad anyways, but I'm gonna see what I can do. This is really bad because the monster type, it takes forever to get 1%, basically. And this is creating too much lag. And that's why I also told myself, well, if I didn't complete before like my vacation, that it's very unlikely. I mean, I know I should have planned better on the timing, but you know, with the testing. Okay, this elite pack is easy, I think. Yeah. So that's the good news so far, that this elite blue is easy. I mean, it's dying like as though it's like a speeds. Well, illusionist anyway, but still, it's like, it's almost close to the speeds. Because they're like 1/3 hurt fast. And no, I'm not confusing between the illusion ones. They are actually 1/3 dead.
I wish I could do that.
The bad news is I lost time from the other spot. The spot before this blue, see? I lost time from the earlier part. It wasn't that blue that cost me the time. So Scorpion Blues would have been better for my 1542, for example. Because they would have died like in 10 seconds with a shield. Instead of a minute total for a 5-pack skeletal archer that splits more than an illusionist scorpion. Yeah, this is... I mean, depending on what my first pylon is, this is a bust. I mean, I'm breaking even-ish, which is, like, lucky, but... I mean, breaking even in the sense of, like, as close as you can get in the amount that I was attempting to kill. So the question is, do I get my 12% pylon or not? I mean, this is not bad, but the problem is the Frozen Pulse. I can kill that yellow elite, but the problem is the Frozen Pulse is the problem. Yeah, the Frozen Pulse is the problem. Alright. Nope, I didn't get a 12% pylon here. So this is a bust. It's red spiders. It's really painful. Basically, this is... I mean, the XRs are good, but I already lost too much time to deal with the red spiders. Well, some red spiders anyway. The only saving grace is if it's a conduit on this floor. Or a shield, I guess. Because it's so painful. But the shield is not enough to bring me back on time. Unless I see like a triple pack that is like super compacted. So I need a compact triple blue or something. Or the best monster type blues. I mean, whatever I can get. Will I even get my 25%? Because they love to stall 1%. Okay. Need to kill this Lacuni and the Exarch. Yeah, I might as well kill all these. Okay. 25%. Something? No? Wow. They really want me to work on 32. That's so sad. Whenever you want the 25, they always make you work for the 32. And then you're even more behind. So you'll never get it. I mean, you'll never get back whatever you try to make the time for. That's so stupid. I really dislike that. Like, the problem of the 25 is that if you don't get the 25, they make you work for the 32. And if you fail to get the 32 on time, you're basically done anyway. So stupid. So this 32 has to be a conduit that I can use enough value anyway.
I'm still waiting.
Huh. Channeling. I can just TP out. Yep. And this is the gist of it, right? I play to the first pylon. If the first pylon isn't good, then it's done. Okay, so I'm gonna do some writing because I have to. So 17th try was bad. With the plague tunnels, donut. 18th try, Orek stream, fail. 1542. Escondil, RG. Um, Conduit, prop, cheat death, wasted 20 seconds. Shield pylon, second floor, wasted 15 seconds on skeletal archer blues that split individually in separate directions. Yeah, so, and then 19th try, bad, 20th try, um, 32% channeling pylon. Something like that. Alright, let's try keeps again. I mean, Hell Witch is actually not good for high latency because I can get hit from the orange stuff. But I am reacting ahead of time. The good news is that it is a reasonable monster type because of the oppressors along with it. So it's not the keeps this time, it's whether I get enough blues. And I got a blue here. Oops. Can I kill the blue without getting lag? See, when the latency is bad, the Hell Witches makes it really difficult because I can't predict anymore. And Electrify doesn't help. So I've already invested on these blues and they are dying. The problem is I don't have Oculus rings now. But they are like dropping. Okay, so 12%. I broke even to the... See? The Hell Witches are bad on high latency because when you can play the Oculus Ring that close, you obviously get hit. In lower latency, you can actually still react to a very close Oculus Ring. On a high latency, you can't. Okay, 14%, but I can't play this yellow elite. I mean, I can probably pull it together and play in this room instead. Yeah, I should just play the shield now, but I don't know if I can get too much better than this for the shield though. I don't know if I can kill the bug on time either, because it's moving too far. Yeah, this is bad. The shield is not good enough. Again, because um, the bug elite is too far away. So, this shield is not high value. Because the other bigger room also did not have an elite pack. Okay. So I have to keep moving and just play the density for the Oculus Ring instead. If the bug follows, then it follows. Okay, this was the exit anyways. Okay. Moon Clan. Do I have enough time for this one? I don't think so. Yeah, this is too painful. Yeah, this shield was not good enough.
I wish I could do that. I'm still here.
This shield is basically nothing. Okay. The follow-ups were terrible. The keeps was okay, but the follow-up, this one is just terrible. Moon Clan is very difficult. I mean, it's okay for, like, progress when you kill them, but, like, it's a lot of work. And the elite pack didn't help. So, like, that's why I decided to play here, because there's no elite affixes. At least not yet. Right? See? As soon as I said something, the elite's here now. I think I can play here, maybe. I'm just hoping that the next pylon is helpful, but I mean, at this rate, I already have the shield, right? So conduit or power with less density is the only hope. Now, if the density was chickens with power, it's okay. Or like ice porcupine or something. So basically, I can only play tame stuff. This is terrible. Okay. What is the next floor? Okay. I mean, Big Spider is like tame unless you get crit by them. Ooh, this spot is nice. But I don't know if I have enough Big Spiders for the overlap. Power. I mean, I called for it, I guess, but what do I have for it? Just this blue. don't know if I can play it. I mean, this is as clean as the power can get. Except it's a Waller. And it's narrow paths for arcane beams, so... Oh, and of course... Yeah, not enough. Just a little short. Wow, I got lucky here. That that pinkish red ring saved me because I just had enough power remaining on that. That was too close. Because had I spent more time, I wouldn't have broken even. I mean, I'm still behind by 15 seconds. And that narrow path was really hard to play that because it was Waller and Arcane. And speaking of Arcane, I can't play that. This is likely next floor anyways. And I'm losing the time already. This is quite tame. But the bad news is I don't know whether it's going to be a conduit or not. Because I need the time lead so that I can kill the Rift Guardian. Because I already have shield and power. So if the next one isn't a conduit, it's very bad. Which basically means that I'm relying on all three best pylons, but that's what my 146 was anyways. But again, that power pylon though, it was so close because the last 5 seconds of it, I actually had enough damage. So the bad news is it going to be 75%? And how am I going to get 75%? Because I cannot get a late help here. I won't have enough time for the Rift Guardian. Especially when I already used power. Yep. Couldn't see that. And I might have to break this pylon spot. Which is bad. Like, breaking this pylon spawn spot is bad because, well, it kind of ruins the elite's play that would have been, right? So yeah, I don't have enough time now. I won't have enough time. It's too late. Yep. Alright, well, I just wanted to try a few times. I have to get more paragons again, which is I know I need it, but 1542 was a good time showing, and I kind of analyzed as much as I could
I'm still
on
waiting.
how I would have done it, and this would have been fine if I got set to 75% sooner, as a last
Leave me
ditch.
quiet.
But of course, I had to kill that spot because I wasn't gonna be able to get 75% before that spot, because that spot right here is
I'm
at
still
pylon spawn
waiting.
point, which I saw so many elites here. It would have been like a 3-4 elite pack conduit
Leave me
if I
quiet.
don't die, obviously, to this latency. So anyway, we can kind of check if there's gonna be a pylon up ahead. I mean, even though my time is ridiculous on the next floor, if they would give the 75% or not, or is it like super too late anyways? I think it's super too late. Yeah, it's probably super too late to even see the 75. Yeah, and it's a bad short floor, and the follow-up is terrible to look for the pylon, so it's over. Like, these are like bad spots. I mean, that could be a donut, but still, it's just too late, too far. So anyway, but anyway, I should be going back now to find out the time. So I couldn't play aggressive with the conduit. So I lost like 20 seconds,
My trail
at least
leads
20
me.
seconds. See, I need a minute. I
Yep.
lost 20 seconds on the conduit because of latency. I'm playing at 250 plus, right? Um, in the beginning, the channeling pylon wasn't helpful at 4%, and then I spent a little too long killing the skeleton blues with the shield
Yep.
because
So
they
anyway,
were split
I
apart.
I basically repeating
So
myself, right?
basically,
But
the mistake was staying for the skeletal archers actually with the shield.
and then I should be doing the
Now,
math shortly.
would it have changed one of my positioning on pylons, on my future pylons? Yes. But I spent 15 seconds too long for the skeletal archer pack. At least 15 seconds too long of the shield. Which means I lost 20 seconds on the conduit because I had to die one time in case I die again in the conduit, wasting the conduit even more because you don't want to die while having the conduit. And then obviously I was playing passively because I actually got proc during the latency issue. And so I had to play defensively on the conduit. So I lost 20 seconds there. So that's 15:22. I lost another 15 seconds minimally on the skeletal archers that were running away. And I had some yellow ping as well while I was playing. Um, and now I'm even in town and it's jumped all the way to 300 plus. So anyway, that would be 15:22 minus another 15 seconds. That's
Yeah.
15:07.
Yeah, Philip. Yeah.
And
S
then just now at the last part, right? I was indecisive. I was indecisive between the second Desolate Sands and the third floor Stinging Winds, where I saw the Stinging Winds had so much density on the way down the staircase, right?
yeah, they never
And so I
bunch.
was indecisive there. So I
Yeah.
lost five
So
seconds there,
I think I can just stop
minimally,
here
just being
of
indecisive, right? So
of
that's
the thing.
15:07 minus 5, which is 15:02. And then the the biggest issue for Escandil is that the ads, while they do give you Oculus rings, you have to position yourself every single time to dodge his stuff, and depending on how much you need to focus fire on the Rift Guardian, 3 seconds is basically anything. any movement of a Rift Guardian, whether it's the Rift Guardian itself or you, in
Yep.
terms of any reposition, any movement that gets away from the range of your skill, damage skill. Hey,
Yep.
Relif.
Okay. So that's about it. Yeah. And going back to the skeletal archers, that's my biggest mistake. But I didn't have another elite pack nearby anyway, so I would have to hunt the next spot, which is basically another 8 seconds minimum anyway out of the 15. So it's it's not really like the end of the world, but it was a bad play to stay against the skeletal archers during the play. But it was a bad second floor anyway because it's desolate sands, right? Um, it's just not it, the elite packs are gonna be like it's gonna be very hard to get them positioned correctly unless you are at the southern spot. So the well, the southern meaning the one closer to you. By the time you go upwards, right? So desolate sands, if you flip it on the other, it will be northward. If you flip it around from the point of view of the bridge, you would go north, right? Straight north. Unless you go to the all the way to the north, there is a chance where there's like 2 or 3 elite packs over there. So I would still have to waste time getting to that spot though, because the scheduled archers that I saw were on the first left anti-clockwise, going leftward of a desolate sands if you wanted to skip the floor. So anyway, I was too far from the northern end portion from the point of view of the bridge. So I basically had to waste time looking for elite packs anyway with the shield, regardless of the 15-second problem of staying for skeletal archers that split. Yeah. But anyway, I wouldn't have completed it also because of Escandil in general. And I used all 3 best pylons already in totality out of the 4 pylons total, which 4 pylons obviously is nice, but the first channeling didn't help. Yeah, yeah. But of course, my 146 was the outlier, right? My 146, that one is a super outlier Desolate Sands. I mean, I've had a little closer outlier on a previous season for my God DH where my second floor Desolate Sands actually saved me, which because it had like right after the bridge, it had like 16 face beasts with 2 elite packs. And it wasn't the 2 elite packs that helped, it was the 16 face beasts that was right like that I pulled just after the bridge. Like within the vicinity of like one screen, I managed to pull 16 face beasts with 2 elite packs. But the purpose of that was because the first floor was Highborn, Temple of the Highborn, and I even overstayed 2 blues in the rectangle thing that I pulled the 2 elites to, and then I was still a minute and a half behind. But then getting to the second floor Desolate Sands, as soon as I saw the face beast, that sheer amount of face beasts, as though it was a Fields of Misery face beast like um monster type, it actually brought me back time. And then I saw, I think, what pylon was it? Was it a conduit next, or was it a power? It was one of those. Yeah, and the 146, like, yeah, exactly. And it had the right pylon order, obviously, but it was the super outlier because it was an ice porcupine, Desolate Sands, which already shows that it's, you know, kind of even more split because ice porcupines do take up real estate, almost like the Hulks do, but they give, you know, relative progress as long as you moved along the way and killing each ice porcupine plus the moon clan on time, right? So it was like a super outlier because the pylon spawn points, you had to kill just about enough of each one to get the outlier spawn as close as they did in the pathing that I took, which was the clockwise way, right? And normally, people who play Desert Sands, almost regardless of what the monster type is, in a push, you wouldn't go clockwise. Very rarely. You would almost go zigzag, meaning right, left, right, left, right, left, and then decide whether you want to exit the floor, you know? But I went full clockwise as slow as humanly possible because of ice porcupines, for example. So anyway, it was like a super outlier. So that kind of threw me off with the skeletal archers initially because I didn't think that they were going to split so much. But because of the shield, right, as a pylon usage, it definitely didn't help the shield at all. It's basically wasteful because they scatter outwards, right? And I should have expected that. But anyway, that's the best time I got. The other best attempt I got, I think, for the 147 was like a few weeks ago where I got 81% break even. But then I didn't get help, or the next pylon was stupid. I don't remember. It was one or the other. So I basically didn't have anything that could help me catch up time for the last 19%, including Rift Guardian time, because 81% without anything stronger isn't helpful. Just like just now. Just now it was like what, the last 7% or something, or the last 10%, or even less than that, that I wouldn't have gotten help because I even miscounted and misremembered at the time, thinking that I can try to go for a 99% pylon check, kinda. But I remembered at that point, right? I stopped myself actually. I mean, I only say it now, but I stopped myself because I saw that I already used all the pylons anyway. And I think I said that anyway. I recorrected myself even earlier before that I already gotten all four pylons anyway. But ultimately, unless I got a 99% pylon, aside from the 4% channeling there, um, I needed a speed pylon instead of that channeling pylon, minimally speaking, to get the time a little lower than this. But it would still have been a fail. And the majority is the skeletal archers and the conduit that I needed to play a little scared. So, like, normally you can't play scared with the conduit. I mean, unless it's spinners, then you you have a difference of game style where you can just use the conduit to zap the spinners, obviously. But at this latency, though, um, you can still get procced um, with a slow reaction time, so to speak. So it's lucky that I didn't even see spinner ads, honestly. Outside of the shield pylon, I wouldn't have cared on that part. But if the conduit spawned spinners, it would have cost me even more time. But anyway, um, I just wanted to like summarize like this, but it's definitely a good experiment moving forward to see how this latency plays out. I might be able to continue trying maybe in the next few days. Um, but yeah, this this tells you like how critical some reaction time is based on the latency, even though it might not seem to matter because you can imagine how people, oceanic players would play, right? I mean, it's still as difficult. And then also for group play, some people actually like oceanic server. because it actually gives the area splash a little bit easier to play with the little like latency checks and whatnot. So it's like it it kind of depends on the situation, but for solo play because you're the only person in the field, it's it's kind of like you have to change your reaction time, especially if you're used to playing like lower latency or like half the latency. So on NA to NA, the latency is like 75 to 125, even though it's NA to NA for me. When I was in the UK for a bit, I was actually using Wi-Fi with extender, but UK to EU server was actually crazy low in comparison to NA to NA. UK to EU was only 44 to 75 ms or 80, 85 at max. So um, when you play Impale at 250 plus for pushing, if you are too used to 50 ms, for example, that's way different, right? 250 to 50, it's five times more, right? Which isn't actually five times more. It's five times more because mathematically of 50 times 5 is 250. But it's 2 seconds, right? Versus half a second of reaction time, which is 1.5 seconds. So you have to play ahead of the reaction or positioning where you cannot be near the monster in the melee range, or if your foot is still like on the edge by the latency, you would get proc because your foot is still there in relation, right? Just now, because just now at the conduit, when I got procced, I mean, I could have paused frame by frame to see if that was true, but I believe that I was on the edge with the latency of that last little bit of the plagued and enchanted, the poison trails. I was on the edge of the shorter line remaining as I was escaping and as I was doing the anti-clockwise. So with that proc, because of my own playstyle, where if I get proc cheat death, I play more defensively.